Now on CoastTV News.
It's a breezy and mild morning for Delmar ahead of a strong cold front that will bring the coldest air of the fall to the region, with the possibility of some frost later in the week. I'll have the details coming up.
House fire investigation in Ellendale, new images from a scary evening fire. And a special piece of Georgetown history could be returning. We'll tell you about the latest on the Cupola project. And efforts to rebuild after Hurricane Milton. We'll tell you about President Biden's recent visit to Florida.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick and Paige Marley have the day off, and thank you for being up with us during our 5 o'clock hour. We're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey. And Bob, this weekend it was beautiful, warm weather, which was shocking, but you're telling me it's going to get cold. The frost, you said it.
It is, Elisa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Del Marva. It was a gorgeous weekend. We had highs in the 80s yesterday, but those are going bye-bye because we do have chilly weather on the way. Right now, we're in the 60s to around 70 degrees, 67 Georgetown, 68 Del Mar, 69 at Bethany Beach. These very well could be the highs for the day as we have a strong cold front coming. We have a southwest breeze right now at around 5 to 10 miles per hour and a little gustier too. And as the front is to our west, out ahead of it, we are seeing some clouds, nothing in the way of precipitation with this system. Wish we had some rain. We desperately need it, but we do have the cold front that's making its way into D.C. right now. It's actually two of those fronts that will plow through later this morning, ushering in that much cooler air. Here's Futurecast this morning. We're in the mid-60s with southwest winds, and we'll see some clouds at times. And note how the temperatures don't move all that much. We're into the mid to upper 60s essentially all day, and then by the afternoon, those northwest winds really kick in, and temperatures falling through the 60s into the 50s for this evening. Your day part forecast has us stuck in the 60s all day long, and those southwest winds becoming northwest and very strong, and then very cold air spills into the area as we head through tonight and really for the next few days. Much more on that and our chances for frost coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Bob. And President Biden visited Florida's battered coastline. Biden surveyed the damage from the sky Sunday on the Marine One and towards St. Petersburg Beach, which is left in shambles by Hurricane Milton. He promised more than $600 million to restore and upgrade the grid after Hurricane Helene and Milton hammered the region. And Biden says in moments like this, Americans come together to help each other. And new this morning, we have new pictures from a house fire in Ellendale. And according to the Ellendale Fire Company, multiple agencies responded to the blaze where flames could be seen shooting outside of the house, and that fire happened on Friday evening. The agency says thankfully no injuries were reported, and the Delaware State Fire Marshal will continue to investigate the cause. And also new this morning, Seaford is announcing a temporary closure to a part of City Hall, and according to the city, starting today through Wednesday, the drive-through and back entrance will be closed, and the city says this is so contractors can complete sidewalk renovations. And the cupola that sits at the top of Sussex County Courthouse could be placed back on top towards the end of this month. It was removed in early May for a refurbishment process to make sure there is no rotting wood and to ensure the overall stability of the cupola. Those like Charlie Koski, who have lived in Georgetown for years, are hopeful that they will have this piece of history back soon, and a unique holiday to Delaware.
It's a big undertaking because it's wood, and it gets weathered, but I think they'll do a great job in anticipation of Return Day right around the corner.
The community relations representative with the Delaware court says it is likely the cupola will be back at the top of the courthouse by October 21st. And it's a project that's taken a lot of attention in Ocean City happening today. The last phase of work on Baltimore Avenue will begin. This is the resurfacing of the avenue, and it is the last stage of a months-long project that also included sidewalk and sewer work. And this week, the city of Lewis will get an update on a plan to make this street, Sussex Drive, safer. This could include added turn lanes, a changed traffic flow, and also creating some parts as a no stopping or standing area are options. And the goal of this project is to increase safety near the neighboring schools. And also in Lewis, the city is putting a spotlight on stopping light pollution. A draft ordinance would require lighting to be dimmed by 35% between midnight and dawn, with motion sensor options. The city is trying to create lighting guidelines that reduce glare, minimize impacts on people and animals, and make it more uniform. This is up for discussion today at 1 p.m. And on Sunday, a new storybook called Keep Our Beaches Clean, What If Everybody Did That? Was unveiled in Ocean City to teach everyone the importance of picking up beach trash. The book was created by Mackenzie Keezers in second grade class, and where they worked together to write and draw all of the pictures. And after showing the book to professional surfer Kelly Slater, he made it possible to have the book published, and organizations came together to hold a ceremonial ribbon cutting.
One thing that the publisher told me was that they have never had a community come around a book like this before, and I think that just attests to how amazing Ocean City is.
People had the chance to purchase their very own copy of the book, and some of the authors were there to sign. And if you live in the Angola area and got rerouted on Route 24 or lost power over the weekend, here's why. Police confirm a man was driving on Route 24 near Jolin's Way when a tree unexpectedly fell. He hit the tree and then live wires fell down, causing the man to swerve lanes. And the good news is no one was hurt and Route 24 was closed for hours. And with 23 days until Election Day, a new NBC News national poll of registered voters shows the presidential race deadlocked at 48%. Now, as November 5th closes in, Vice President Harris and former President Trump are ramping up campaign events across the country. And another security concern is grabbing headlines. NBC's Alice Barr shows us what each candidate is focusing on. Campaigning continues today.
As the presidential nominees pick up the pace on the campaign trail.
With your help in 23 days, we will win.
We're going to win Arizona, and we are going to defeat Kamala.
A new NBC News national poll of registered voters shows the race in a dead heat at 48%, indicating a slowdown for Vice President Harris after her popularity surged in the last NBC poll following a September debate. The poll points to a deep gender gap, with Vice President Harris leading with women by 14 points.
One of the things that attracted me to her is that she was smart.
And former President Trump ahead with men by 16 points.
He's worked hard, he's created jobs, he's built businesses.
Margins remain razor thin in the critical battleground states, and on the issues the former president is seen as stronger in handling the economy and immigration.
You know what I did? I called them up, I said, close the border.
While the vice president gets a boost on reproductive rights, campaigning in North Carolina, she highlighted her newly released medical records, including her physician saying she's in excellent health, putting the pressure on Mr. Trump.
He refuses to release his medical record.
That as federal authorities are investigating a new potential security threat. A man with guns in his vehicle was arrested Saturday, stopped at a checkpoint about a quarter mile from former President Trump's rally site in Coachella, California. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And authorities say former President Trump was not at the rally site when that suspect was arrested. And responding to Vice President Harris's comments on the former president's medical records, a spokesperson says he is in perfect health and pointed to his busy campaign schedule. Both nominees are set to campaign in Pennsylvania today. And we are just getting started here on Coast TV News this morning. Coming up, celebrating Latino students. We'll give you a look at an annual summit that brings together Latino students of all ages for connection and engagement. And Fenwick Island will finally begin a dredging project years in the making. We'll tell you why one local says this work is needed. And bringing home beach debris, will tell you how long you have to claim any items left on the beach in Lewis, and what the city says it'll do with anything left without an owner. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
I've been thinking about renovating my garage floor, and suddenly I'm seeing signs everywhere. The universe keeps hinting, even at my local gas company. Pinnacle Concrete is everywhere. And again, multiple signs at the print store. The signs are too strong to ignore. It's time to call. With so many options, my dream is taking shape. And now, I'm not just seeing signs, I'm living proof. Pinnacle Concrete Coatings, because quality matters.
These fields are empty now, but soon they'll be alive.
Some teams can only dream to play it because they can't afford it. And that is why Toyota is sponsoring Delmarva's Dream Team.
We're looking for teams from any sport and any level. Each month, your Delmarva Toyota dealer will give one local team a $1,000 grant. And after the year, one finalist will receive an additional $3,000.
Nominate your dream team at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
DSN's Delmarva's Dream Team, sponsored by your local Toyota dealer.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
Ever have a day that just couldn't get any worse? Meet Tyler, the champion of chaos. Having a day that's gone from bad to worse. When life throws you a string of unfortunate events, the Law Office of Trapp Nickel is here to provide a helping hand. Our experienced workers' compensation team is here to fight for your rights and help shape your misfortune into meaningful compensation. If you've been injured at work, don't wait. Get the justice you deserve. The Law Office of Trapp Nickel. Your priority is our priority.
5:11 on this breezy and somewhat cool Monday morning. Bay Health Cam right now 65 in Dover, and we've got mid to upper 60s across the board right now. Warm spot is, well, it was Indian River Inlet at 70. It just updated to 69 as we have gusty southwest winds. That's ahead of that sharp cold front that's moving in, and we do have a few clouds out there. No rain with this front. We desperately need the rain, but it's a dry frontal passage. We've got two fronts back to the west, and those will move through later this morning, dropping our temperatures later this evening. Off to school for the kiddos, breezy and mild, 67 degrees. It will be dry and temperatures don't move much, heading home around 68 and breezy and mild with mostly sunny skies.
Bob, and happening today in Lewis, it's the last day to claim items left on the dunes or the beach. These include items such as chairs and kayaks, and if not claimed, the city says we'll keep those items until October 30th. And happening now, police will continue to investigate a crash that killed a 66-year-old Lewis man, and according to officials, the man was killed after he ran his car off Stokely Road, hitting a mailbox and a tree. Police say the man was speeding and not wearing a seatbelt, and unfortunately, he did die at the scene. Police are working to identify the victim. And one teen is safe after a reported disappearance in Long Neck on Sunday morning. According to the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company, a 17-year-old boy was on the pier of the Indian River and then disappeared with his clothes and phone still on the pier. Multiple first responders took to the water, and the good news is the teen was later found in a nearby apartment. And airfares to some of the world's most gorgeous beaches are now a lot cheaper. The flight comparison site Skyscanner recently released a travel trend report that revealed the destinations with the biggest airfare drop from the U.S. over the past year. The location that came out on top was the Mediterranean resort city of Nice, and you want to travel a little bit closer to the U.S., then you're going to want to head to St. Lucia and Barbados. And if you're a fan of Crocs, you can soon pick up a pair for your dog. The footwear company is introducing Pet Crocs later this month in partnership with the pet supply company and subscription service Bark. It's all a part of the annual Croctober campaign, which includes the release of a fan-inspired product, and starting October 23rd, Pet Crocs will be available for a limited time in 2 colors. Matching classic line Crocs for dogs and humans will be available the same day. And still ahead, Fenwick Island will finally begin dredging its waterways. We'll tell you how long the town says the project will take.
It's a breezy start on this Monday in Ocean City, 69 degrees, and we've got a strong cold front moving through Delmarva later this morning. That will bring the coldest air of the season to the region and possibly some frost later in the week. I'll have your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station.
Ride the wave of Delmarva's vibrant coastal vibes with Coast Life. From hidden gems to sun-kissed trends and captivating local tales. Dive deep and immerse yourself in our coastal rhythm. Catch Coast Life weekdays at 4 on CoastTV.
Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, at least $16,000.
Senate candidate Angela Alsobrooks took advantage of tax breaks that she was not eligible to get.
Angela Alsobrooks' campaign says she was unaware of the error.
That's odd because all 4 mortgages were in her name on the D.C. property.
Alsobrooks owes $59,000 in back taxes. Alsobrooks isn't just dishonest on her taxes. She's dishonest with us. Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You push it. You try to hold them shut, but your doors won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet's powerful attraction that holds tight. Monkey magnets work on most surfaces and are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, and more. Even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of monkey magnets for only $9.99. Due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get monkey magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 house pack per order. Call now.
Call 1-800-453-9032. That's 1-800-453-9032. Call or visit getmonkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-453-9032 now.
Coming up,
I can't believe I'm on Drew's News. Oh my God!
Leah Thompson on the anniversary of Back to the Future.
Did you know that it was going to be the phenomenon that it is?
Monday at noon on CoastTV.
The time is now 5:16 and we're going to take a live look outside into Ocean City. And this weekend, Bob, it was a beautiful weekend to go on the boardwalk right there in Ocean City. But now if you want to go today, it's going to be a little cold. I'm suggesting extra layers. Yeah.
A little cooler, yeah. It's going to be a downward trend in those temperatures, Lisa. It was a gorgeous weekend, but yeah, now it's coming to an end. In fact, we could be looking at our first frost of the season by the middle to end of the week. Now, on average, the first frost is October 23rd, and the first freeze is November 10th. And we have a chance as we go through the week ahead, especially as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Look at the icicles getting a little longer here on Wednesday with temperatures into the upper 30s, but I think a better chance on Thursday as temperatures get down maybe into the mid 30s for some and maybe a little bit of light frost, and then we're out of the woods after that. Here's our 5-day temperature trend. Average high is 70. We'll be around there today, but then look what happens tomorrow. High of 60, 59 Wednesday, 61 on Thursday. A lot of us not even getting out of the 50s for highs the next 3 days, Tuesday through Thursday, and then 67 by Friday. So break out those clothes. Well, of course you're close, but the clothes for wintertime, the warm clothes. We're looking at 67 in Georgetown, 64 in Seaford, 67 in Salisbury right now, 68 in Millsboro, Bethany Beach at 69. The winds are coming out of the southwest around 6 to 12 miles per hour, and they'll shift to the northwest and get strong this afternoon. We're looking at some stars and some clouds as well. Nothing in the way of precipitation across Delmarva. There's the front near I-95 right now. There's a secondary front behind that, and unfortunately the rain with this front is back through areas around the Great Lakes and back into the northeast as well. Too bad we can't get some of that moisture down here. It looks like it will be a dry front, but the air behind this is very cold. It's pouring out of Canada, the coldest air of the season. Here's Futurecast this morning. We're in the 60s. In fact, we're in the 60s all day. Mid-morning, some clouds, and then you see the arrows changing color in the afternoon. Winds start to really pick up out of the northwest with highs in the 60s and close to 70 degrees. Then those temperatures falling this evening and overnight, but some clouds could prevent us from really bottoming out tomorrow morning with temperatures in the low 40s, maybe some upper 30s. We're seeing clouds tomorrow, temperatures in the 50s, maybe around 60 for some of us, but more clouds in the afternoon. And Futurecast is indicating maybe some showers tomorrow night. That would be great, but I'm not optimistic about that. And then Wednesday morning, very chilly. Some of the upper 30s starting to show up across the inland areas. We will see those gusty winds out of the west and southwest, eventually becoming northwest, gusting over 30 miles per hour this afternoon. And then tonight, those winds ease back a little bit, but still pretty gusty out of the west as we go into Tuesday. As we see this trough, this chilly air in place Tuesday through Thursday, but it's short-lived because we warm up big time by Friday and into the upcoming weekend. It gets mild at that time. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 70 today, down to 41 tomorrow morning, only 60 on Tuesday, partly cloudy skies, and then we're into the upper 30s. Wednesday and Thursday morning, that's when we have to watch for the chance of some frost. 59 Wednesday, 61 Thursday. Then we start to warm up, upper 60s Friday and the weekend, looking good with sunshine, lower 70s Saturday, 74 on Sunday. Our umbrella winner is Terry Harmon from Milton. Congratulations, Terry. You have a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Bob, and happening today, a project that took years of effort, Fenwick Island channels will finally be dredged. And according to the town, the $2.3 million project will primarily be paid for by the state and the county. And locals we spoke with say they've seen firsthand how shallow that water is, so this dredging project is greatly needed.
The first week he moved in here, he was coming down with his pontoon boat to come visit us and got stuck in that shallow water.
And the dredging work in Fenwick Island is set to finish on November 12th. And starting today, Bridgeville drivers prepare for a closure that'll last for over a month. Deldet will be replacing the bridge on Seashore Highway between Ray Road and Federalsburg Road starting today through December 19th. The agency says people should expect detours and delays. And up next on Coast TV News today, celebrating Latino students. We'll tell you how one student was impacted by a summit aimed at uplifting Latino students across Delaware. Coast TV will be right back.
Join us for the American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer in Ocean City on Saturday, October 26th. The walk starts at 8 a.m. on the boardwalk at the inlet. Sign up to walk or lead a team to celebrate courage and hope for breast cancer survivors, those living with metastatic breast cancer, caregivers, and families. Be the hope to help end breast cancer for everyone. For more details, visit coastcountry.com. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers.
Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices.
Foul odors, discolored water, are you running out of hot water more quickly? These are all signs of sediment buildup in your water heater. And as the buildup becomes more severe, it can even cause a premature tank failure. Flushing the tank periodically can prevent these problems. FH Fur has you covered. Get a water heater flush for $49. That's right, a complete water heater flush for only $49. Act now and get a plumbing inspection free.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
Shop, play, learn, explore at the OC RV and Van Lifestyle Show, the premier gathering for RV enthusiasts and outdoor lovers. From October 31st to November 3rd, the Ocean City Convention Center transforms into a hub of excitement and exploration. With RVs, custom vans, e-bike, golf cart, and boat test ride zones, seminars, water sports, power sports, and a wide selection of the latest gear, you'll find everything you need to enhance your next adventure. Enjoy BMX and skateboarding competitions, tiki boat cruises, and more. Buy tickets and explore with us at OCRVshow.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Cower from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Lewis, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's is a little seafood shack on Coastal Highway serving lunch and dinner daily, featuring seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-inspired nightly specials, along with a large selection of craft ales, cocktails, and our extensive wine list. Matt's is a perfect place to enjoy dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or lunch in the lobster room. Matt's Fish Camp in Lewis, Delaware, open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner. See you soon.
Has your kitchen remodel been on the back burner?
Move it forward now and take advantage of our biggest kitchen sale of the year.
Paul Davis can restyle your kitchen for half the cost of a traditional kitchen remodel. Get all new doors, drawers, and hardware without any major demolition. And the best part is, it's done in as little as 3 days.
We'll bring the showroom to you as soon as tomorrow and give you an estimate that day.
Call now to get $1,500 off, plus free hardware and no payments, no interest for 12 months. Call Paul Davis.
The restoration and remodeling experts.
Over 250 students gathered for the Latino Student Summit in Newark. The purpose of this summit, organized by the United Way of Delaware, was to connect and uplift Latino middle school, high school, and college students from around the first state. Participants had the opportunity to select 2 out of 10 workshops, including interactive food demonstrations and voting about the importance of civic engagement. And Milford High School won $500 for having the most students in attendance.
I think it was very good. Personally, I think it's great that we're all together in one spot and bonding and sharing our cultures.
The summit concluded with a big fiesta and to celebrate and honor the National Hispanic Heritage Month. And happening this week, Delaware's Teacher of the Year will be named on Tuesday, October 15th. And you may remember this woman, Miss Dill from Milford, from our Coastal Connection. She is one of this year's nominees. A Milford teacher won this award in 2023. And we're now going to check back in with First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey. And Bob, if you want to go to the beach today, you said it's nice, but it's going to be breezy. So windbreaker, sweatshirt.
hang on to your hat, the whole deal. And boaters have to be careful too, because there is a small craft advisory in effect today through tomorrow morning for choppy seas. It will be breezy. Fenwick Island and Ocean City are in the 60s this morning, maybe getting into the low 70s by noon, but then it gets really breezy by the afternoon. Temperatures falling through the 60s. And if you're taking the ferry ride up to Cape May, it will be breezy and turning cooler. You can see the wind blowing icons on there. Lewis, you're falling through the 60s as we go into the afternoon. And Rehoboth, sunshine but pretty windy, with temperatures falling into the 60s as we go into the afternoon. In Cambridge, we're looking at 40s early on, and then only mid-50s as we go into the afternoon. I think this is for tomorrow's forecast. This is going to be for tomorrow. We're looking at temperatures a little closer to the mid-60s to close to 70 as we go through today, then cooling down, and a big cool down, maybe some frost by the end of the week. Much more in your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
After the break on Coast TV News today, a historic piece of Georgetown could be returning soon. We'll tell you how officials want to bring it back before a unique Delaware holiday. And multiple Sussex County agencies responded to a fire in Ellendale. We'll tell you what is expected now that that blaze is extinguished. And President Biden got a first-hand look at the damage to Florida from Hurricane Milton. We'll tell you how much aid he is dishing out to help the state and those in need. Coast TV News will be right back.
Make sure your neighborhood feels like home with landscaping and property services by Herker Property Maintenance. We combine science and art to create and maintain the landscape masterpiece you've always dreamed of. We can handle the largest developments and commercial properties all over and provide a consistent data evaluation to keep your property perfectly maintained. Clean, innovative, fast, reliable, from landscaping to pavement services and everything in between. Take an innovative approach with Herker Property Maintenance.
Flashing lights. See them, and you know to go slow. Now we put that same technology in the palm of your hand with Lizard Flare. It's the high-tech safety flare with no flame. Lizard Flare uses 15 high-intensity LED strobes that can be seen nearly a mile away, and a powerful magnet that sticks to your car without exiting the vehicle. Look, flares are dangerous, but Lizard Flare won't let you down. A dead battery, an empty gas tank. With Lizard Flare, help is on the way. Lizard Flare Pro has an ultra-bright flashlight too.
Get your Lizard Flare for only $9.99, but wait, Lizard Flare may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Lizard Flare is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There is a strict limit of 2 vehicle packs per order. Call now.
This may be your last chance, so call 1-800-604-4696. That's 1-800-604-4696, or visit lizardflare.com now.
Get ready for the spookiest night of the year. Milton Zombie Fest is creeping up on October 19th starting at 4 p.m. in downtown Milton. It's a haunted Mardi Gras like you've never seen before. Bring the whole family for bone-chilling fun with live music, freak shows, food trucks, costume contests, and a laser light show that'll leave you screaming for more. Admission is free, so come join the undead for a night you won't forget. For more info, visit miltontheater.com. Sponsored by Coast TV.
Now on Coast TV News.
It's a breezy and mild morning for Delmarva ahead of a strong cold front that will bring the coldest air of the fall to the region, with the possibility of frost later in the week. I'll have the details coming up.
So Georgetown's history is being repaired, and when we can expect to see that again. And new images of a house fire in Ellendale, details about the incident currently under investigation. And President Biden visited Florida, a look at the scene after Hurricane Milton, and how much money is being promised to help the area rebuild.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick and Paige Marley have the day off, and the time is now 5:28 on this Monday morning. And we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey to tell us a little bit about our expected chilly forecast after a pretty warm weekend. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Elisa. Good morning, Delmarva. Big changes on the way. Of course, it was a beautiful weekend with temperatures in the 80s yesterday, but we've got big changes with a strong cold front heading our way. Out ahead of that front, it is mild. Temperatures into the upper 60s, around 67 to 69 degrees. Milton, you're a little cooler at 65. 65. Georgetown right now, you're at 67 as we have a southwest breeze. Pretty breezy out there, gusting up to 20 miles per hour at times. We're seeing some clouds too and some breaks in the clouds. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any rain with this frontal passage. There's the front now making its way to the I-95 corridor, a secondary front behind that, and all the rain tied to this front is to the north through the Great Lakes and the Northeast, so a dry frontal passage for us. Here's Futurecast, 6 a.m. We're into the mid-60s with that southwest breeze, and then a few clouds through the morning hours, and temperatures don't move very much. If we hit our highs, it's probably late morning, early afternoon, around 70, and then falling temperatures into the afternoon. Look at these bright arrows indicating strong northwest winds and temperatures falling through the 60s and then into the 50s for this evening. So needless to say, well, you'll want to bundle up on the ferry ride. We're looking at temperatures in the 60s as you head up to Cape May, and maybe around 69 at 10 o'clock, and then holding steady in the upper 60s through noon. And those gusty winds, well, they could be gusting up to 30 miles per hour at times as we go into the afternoon.
Up and President Biden toward Florida's battered coastline. Biden surveyed the damage from the sky Sunday on Marine One and toward St. Petersburg Beach, which is left in shambles by Hurricane Milton. He promised more than $600 million to restore and upgrade the grid after Hurricanes Helene and Milton hammered the region. And Biden says in moments like this, Americans come together to help one another. And new this morning, we have new images from a house fire in Ellendale. And according to the Ellendale Fire Company, multiple agencies responded to this blaze where flames could be seen shooting outside of the house. And that fire happened Friday evening. And the agency says, thankfully, no injuries were reported. And the Delaware State Fire Marshal will continue to investigate the cause. And also new this morning, Seaford is announcing a temporary closure to a part of its city hall. And according to the city, starting today through Wednesday, the drive-through and back entrance will be closed. And the city says this is so contractors can complete sidewalk renovations. And also in Lewis, the city is putting a stop to light pollution. A draft ordinance would require lighting to be dimmed by 35% between midnight and dawn with motion sensor options. The city is trying to create lighting guidelines that reduce glare, minimize impacts on people and animals, and make everything more uniform. This is up for discussion today at 1 p.m. And it's a project that's taken a lot of attention in Ocean City. Happening today, the last phase of work on Baltimore Avenue will begin. This is the resurfacing of the avenue, and this is the last phase of a months-long project that also included a sidewalk and sewer work. And this week, the city of Lewis will get an update on a plan to make this street, Sussex Drive, safer. This could include adding turn lanes, a changed flow of traffic, and also creating some parts as a no stopping or standing area. All this goal is to increase safety near the neighboring schools. And after being removed from the top of the Sussex County Courthouse, the cupola could be making its return in late October. And as Zakia Jennings shows us, people are ready to have this piece of history back in its place.
The Sussex County Courthouse. It's an important building here in Georgetown, but it's missing something. In early May, the cupola that typically sits on top of the courthouse was taken down to be refurbished. The last time this happened was over 20 years ago. And people like Michelle Hayes are eager to have this piece of history back.
I think it's a part of history, and once the building is complete, I think that it would be an icon they should put it back up there. It's part of Georgetown.
The refurbishment process includes replacing any rotten wood and ensuring the overall stability of the cupola. Charlie Koski has been in Georgetown for 25 years, and he is all for preserving the town's history.
Here in Georgetown, the only thing that we have is history. We don't have a river or a beach or anything, so it's nice for the state to step in and preserve our heritage.
It seems that something as simple as a cupola can bring the town together and keep its history alive.
The community relations representative with the Delaware court says it is likely that the cupola will be back on top of the courthouse by October 21st. And people in the community say they hope it's back up in time for return day on Thursday, November 7th. In Georgetown, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
More than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene hit the Asheville, North Carolina region, up to 100,000 people there still do not have running water. And that's according to the Water Department spokesman. And that's more than half of the people who get their water from the Asheville Water Department in the city and surrounding counties. And right now, the Maryland Army National Guard is still helping those impacted by Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. And here are some of what they are seeing there. Soldiers in helicopters working separate missions in the rescue and recovery efforts in the aftermath of that hurricane, and the end date as to when this mission will end has not been announced. And those same efforts are taking place in Florida as Delaware sends help to those suffering from the damage from both Hurricane Helene and Milton. Delmarva Power is sending some crews and equipment to help first responders, and Governor John Carney has activated 100 Delaware National Guard members and more than 40 trucks. And the Boeing strike has entered its second month, and economic analysts estimate the company is losing millions of dollars each day as the strike continues. NBC's reporter Cornelius Hawker shows us what union workers are fighting for and how the company is responding.
Holding the line on Sunday. Striking machinists like Edward Feetham are standing their ground.
We're ready to, be here as long as it takes.
According to economic experts, the shift from production to protest is costing Boeing millions. More than $1 billion in a month. Last week, the cash-strapped company shared it burned through $1.3 billion during this third quarter. Boeing has lost more than $25 billion since 2019. It's also laying off about 10% of its workers in the coming months, around 17,000 people, and will stop building the cargo version of the 767 jet in 2027.
If they're laying off 10% of the people and shutting down the 6-7 program, that's not because of the strike. That was coming anyways.
Boeing's latest statement reiterated the company wants to reach an agreement, but believes the union is insisting on unreasonable demands and putting out a misleading narrative, making it difficult to find a solution.
If they think our members are going to be intimidated or, somehow change direction because of this, it's just not going to work. Our members will be more defiant than ever and angrier than ever.
International Association of Machinists District 751 President John Holden says leadership is fighting for what its members want.
Our members, they are demanding things that are reasonable, that are important to them, and that's our job, is to negotiate those.
He says the union is ready to get a deal done.
It's time to come to the table, stay at the table, do the hard work, and bargain the things so we can reach an agreement.
We have a lot more news to get to, so don't go anywhere. The voting process has started on Delmarva, and CoastTV was there as the first absentee ballots were scanned. We'll tell you what's next and where to find all the election information you need to know ahead of November. And saving shorebird population, we'll tell you what Denrick says it's doing to help the declining shorebird population on Delmarva. And the Brandywine Valley SPCA is helping pets impacted by the hurricanes in the south. We'll tell you about the efforts to get those pets into loving homes right now. Stay with us on CoastTV News.
Ride the wave of Delmarva's vibrant coastal vibes with Coast Life. From hidden gems to sun-kissed trends and captivating local tales. Dive deep and immerse yourself in our coastal rhythm. Catch Coast Life weekdays at 4 on CoastTV.
Ever have a day that just couldn't get any worse? Meet Tyler, the champion of chaos.
Having a day that's gone from bad to worse. When life throws you a string of unfortunate events, the Law Office of Trapp Nickel is here to provide a helping hand. Our experienced workers' compensation team is here to fight for your rights and help shape your misfortune into meaningful compensation.
If you've been injured at work, don't wait. Get the justice you deserve.
The Law Office of Trapp Nickel. Your priority is our priority.
With more than 25 years of surgical expertise, Dr. Julie Berry is now accepting new patients at Tidal Health Ear, Nose, and Throat Surgery. Dr. Berry offers specialized care for a wide range of general ear, nose, and throat disorders. Whether you're dealing with chronic sinus issues or require advanced surgical intervention, Dr. Berry is here to provide expert care tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference that expert care can make. Schedule your appointment today.
Scoops and scores and Friday Night Lights. Football coverage like you've never seen before. Live games of the night every Friday night with the pre, half, and post-game shows. Plus, we'll take you around Delmarva for the latest real-time scores during Friday Night Lights. Tune in to the Delmarva Sports Network and the DSN app every Friday night this fall season. Scoops and scores and Friday Night Lights. Only on DSN and the DSN app.
He had me in a headlock and poured the bleach actually on me.
If you're behind him, you could have him in a headlock, but he can't have you in a headlock. I'm either going to believe you or not.
Judge Judy. Monday at 2 on CoastTV.
5:39 on our breezy Monday morning, 69 in Ocean City right now on our Tyndall's Casual Furniture camera. And we've got uniform temperatures in the 60s, a little cooler to the west, a little warmer at the beaches. And our temperature's not moving much today, but grab that heavier jacket because we are going to see breezy conditions. Southwest winds now will eventually shift to the northwest. We have partly cloudy skies at the present time. Would be nice to see some rain with this cold front moving in, but we're not going to see it. All the rain with this is tied to the north. And we're just looking at dry conditions really much of the day. Heading out to the golf course, I put it in the fair category on purpose. Sun and clouds, breezy and mild, right around 70 degrees. It's going to be windy, not the best day for golf. Another way to get your forecast is the CoastTV First Alert weather phone. It's sponsored by Baird, Mandalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
Thank you, Bob. And people and animals have both been impacted by the recent hurricanes, damaging much of the South. Well, now some of those animals have left shelters in Florida and are now here on Delmarva. The Brandywine Valley SPCA says all of the animals were already adoptable, and clearing them out of the South makes room for displaced family pets. The SPCA is waiving fees across all campuses until Wednesday to help make space for these new arrivals. And Denrick is reminding the public that shorebirds are important for our shoreline ecology. But new tonight, Denrick is saying populations are declining, and you can see the animal right here on your screen. Denrick says its Shorebird Project works to help stop that through research, habitat protection, and more. And CoastTV had the honor of attending the Meals on Wheels Delaware Beach Brunch 2024, and hundreds of people came out to raise money for the program that brings food to seniors in need. Our very own Madeline Overturf was this year's MC. And coming up today on the Delmarva Sports Network at 6 p.m., it's your game of the night. Stephen Decatur will take on Parkside in boys soccer. Then at 8 p.m., it's Salisbury facing off against Baltimore Kings in men's soccer. At 10 p.m., it's post time, and stay tuned for 10:30 for the final score. And here's your exclusive DSN Plus games for today. At 4 p.m., you can watch Parkside play Easton in girls soccer. Also at that time, you can watch Newark take on Apo in volleyball. And of course, the game of the night we just mentioned, Parkside will take on Stephen Decatur at 6 p.m. And if you enjoyed Zoe Saldana in the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avatar movies, well, you can thank Steven Spielberg. And David Daniel explains all of that in today's Hollywood Minute.
Zoe Saldana is crediting Steven Spielberg with restoring her faith in major Hollywood movies. The actress told the BFI London Film Festival over the weekend her first big-budget role, 2003's Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, was not a good experience. Luckily, the next year brought Spielberg's The Terminal, which Saldana said made her feel so good and so safe and restored my faith that big can also be great.
A game. What game? Hide and seek? Are we really going to play that?
Ready for more Ready or Not? Samara Weaving and the filmmaking collective Radio Silence are reuniting for a sequel to the 2019 horror comedy about a bride who has to survive a deadly game with her new in-laws. The original cost just $6 million to make and grossed more than 4 times that domestically. That's the kind of game movie studios love. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Right now, we are looking for charities for our Bless Our Children campaign. They handpick families in need so we can make sure every child has a gift to open Christmas morning. We are accepting applications from those nonprofits through October 18th.
We're seeing dry and breezy conditions all over Delmarva. Salisbury University, nice and quiet and dry, and Salisbury 67. However, a strong cold front is going to be moving through Delmarva this morning, bringing the coldest air of the season to the region and possibly some frost later in the week. I'll have your forecast details coming up in a couple minutes. Stay tuned.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
Transform your backyard into an outdoor oasis at Woodland Sheds in Bishopville, Maryland. Explore 11 acres with over 100 Amish buildings and 7,000 pieces of Amish poly furniture. Walk through our Amish-built sheds, kennels, coops, garages, and even pool houses. Enjoy free shed delivery and rent-to-own sheds with no credit check. We also have portable storage units. Visit us at Woodland Sheds, Route 113, Bishopville.
It all started with a food truck and a dream of bringing excellent street food to our community. That dream became Tiki Jack's as we know it today. From mouth-watering street tacos to our signature sandwiches and street-inspired entrees, Tiki Jack's is the ultimate destination for comfort food by the shore. Whether you're dining out with family or looking for a fun night out with friends, stop by Tiki Jack's at Rehoboth Beach today for all your street eats and brews.
Behind every champion, there's a force that never wavers. It's the voice that whispers, keep going, when the world says, give up. At County Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your unwavering support, like a coach who sees your potential, like a parent who believes in your dreams. We're here to help you reach for greatness, because your success is our success. County Bank, supporting champions in life every day. County Bank, member FDIC.
Whether it's a natural disaster or just everyday life's mishaps, in disaster's wake, there's only one call to make: Royal Plus. Find us at royalplus.com. We bring calm to the chaos.
The time is now 5:45, and we're going to take a live look outside into Ocean City on this Monday morning. And Bob, honestly, it looks like a creepy Halloween movie scene out there. You can't really see much, but Bob, we've been having beautiful weather, but you said beautiful weather, there's also some other concerns about how dry it's been.
Yeah, there's always the downside to that, Elisa, and that is the drought. We've got abnormally dry conditions across Delmarva. You can see that in the yellow area around Ocean Pines at Bethany Beach and farther to the west, and then much of our area is under moderate drought. So that means we're looking very dry, it's breezy, and the fire danger could be going up as well. Even though it's going to cool down, it's best not to burn until we get some appreciable rain, and that's not going to be for a while, unfortunately. Average highs now is around 70. We'll be there today. I think a lot of us touching 70 and then falling into the 60s, and then only 60 for a high on Tuesday, 59 on Wednesday, 61 Thursday. Clearly the chilliest air mass of the season, the coldest temperatures we've seen so far this year. Then by Friday, 67. We have 2 mornings where we're looking at that possibility of frost. That's Wednesday morning, as you see that icicle a little longer, but then a longer icicle on Thursday morning. We could be down into the mid-30s, so that is cold enough for some frost on some wood and metal surfaces, so we'll have to watch out for that later in the week. But right now, temperature-wise, we're into the 60s, 64 in Redden, Seaford 62, Millsboro 67, Bethany Beach right now at 68, as we have a southwesterly wind. It's pretty breezy out there. We've got some clouds, unfortunately no rain with this. We are looking at a dry commute as we're watching this cold front moving in from the west along the I-95 corridor, and then a secondary front behind that. All the rain is across areas of the Great Lakes and the Northeast right now, but behind this front, it is the coldest air mass of the season pouring out of Canada into the plains and then eventually heading our way. Here's Futurecast. This morning we have some of the clouds, and temperatures really not moving all that much. By 11, we're looking at a northwest breeze picking up behind that front. Temperatures into the upper 60s, so our highs could occur late morning or early afternoon. By 2:30, we're into the mid-60s, and temperatures likely falling with that gusty northwest wind, and then those winds back off a little bit, and then by tomorrow morning we're seeing temperatures in the low 40s, maybe some upper 30s, and tomorrow, Tuesday, will be a chilly day. We're looking at partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies, and highs only into the upper 50s to around 60. Futurecast is showing some showers tomorrow evening. That would be nice. I'm not so sure on that. And then by Wednesday morning, we're looking at, look at this, upper 30s from Seaford back through Ellendale, lower 40s inland, even some lower 40s at the beach. It's very chilly for your Wednesday morning. We'll see those southwest winds turning west and northwest this afternoon, gusting over 30 miles per hour times. That's why I'm concerned about that higher fire danger as we're looking at this northwest wind beginning to diminish as we go into the evening hours. And then we're looking at chilly conditions once again for the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it starts to warm up as we go into Friday and into the upcoming weekend. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. We go from 70 today to 60 on Tuesday, and then some chilly nights, upper 30s Wednesday and Thursday morning with that chance for frost. 59 Wednesday, 61 Thursday, and then we do warm up, upper 60s Friday, and the weekend looking dry and sunny. 71 Saturday, 74 on Sunday.
Thank you, Bob. And new this morning, today marks Indigenous Peoples Day around the U.S., and the day recognizes contributions of those who lived here before Columbus claimed to have discovered it. In 2021, President Joe Biden officially signed a proclamation that federal policies back then sought to displace Native American people. And absentee ballots are now out in Delaware, and CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken was there when the ballots were scanned and shows us what's next.
The sound of democracy in action. The Delaware Department of Elections is opening absentee ballots and scanning for errors as part of their election preparations. Tracy Wilkerson, a Republican, is the deputy county director.
So people feel secure in how our absentee ballot process works in Delaware. So it's very important. We have teams in there that are of opposite parties. It's important that that's balanced when we're doing the whole process.
The department has volunteers called challengers from both parties to help scan ballots for potential errors. They check for the signature, the timestamp, and the address, but right now they aren't actually registering who anyone is voting for. This is just a count of the number of absentee ballots coming in. Kenneth Bo McDowell, a Democrat, is the county director.
And things, so it's good for the citizens to get out and see for themselves what we're all about, and that there's nothing to hide, and we're totally out in the open with everything.
McDowell says if they do find discrepancies on the ballot, they follow up with the voter and do a detailed investigation. The Department of Elections says they are seeing about 500 absentee ballots come back each day, and next week they will begin the scanning process to start counting those ballots and the ones that keep coming in. In Georgetown, I'm Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
And if you aren't voting absentee or on Election Day, early voting is happening in all 3 Delmarva states. In Delaware, you can vote early between October 25th and November 3rd. In Maryland, it's October 24th to the 31st. And Virginia already has early voting. It started September 20th and runs through November 2nd. And Coast TV is your place for all things election right now on our website, coasttv.com. You can find information on the upcoming presidential election, races in both Delaware and Maryland, and voting resources on Delmarva. Just head over to coasttv.com and click on Decision 2024 tab. And happening now, police say another man is in custody after they arrested him for allegedly helping steal a car and rob a couple at gunpoint. Troopers say Terrence Savage met with acquaintances on Hollyville and Mount Joy Road in Millsboro late this month, at which point police allege Savage robbed them and stole their car. He was already arrested for that stolen car, but is now facing charges regarding the robbery. And up next in Coast TV News today, consequences from COVID-19. We'll tell you about the health risks doctors say people should be aware of if they've ever suffered from the disease.
For every season, every weather moment, stay ahead with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, like myself in flooring, to ensure you get the best product to fit your needs and that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
They worked with me, gave me different options, kept within that budget, completed it on time. Delmarva Design Center was awesome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Gamey Elliott in Salisbury today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Thank you for calling Bennett Termite and Pest Solutions. This is Pam. How can I help you?
That's right. When you call Bennett Termite, you get a real person. No endless menus, just real local people ready to help. Our team is ready to make your home pest-free with safe and effective treatments. When you call, we'll answer. No automated systems, just quick, reliable service from people who care.
No problem at all. We have you on the schedule and we're happy to help.
There are many dangers COVID-19 can pose to a person, but a new study suggests the virus can have a significant impact on heart and brain health for years after an infection. Mandy Gaither shows us the data and explains why researchers say everyone who's had COVID-19 needs to be aware.
In 2020, before vaccines were available, people who caught COVID-19 had twice the risk of a major cardiovascular problem like heart attack or stroke as those who didn't test positive, according to a new study.
What was also surprising is that the extent of that risk did not show any sign of diminishing or attenuation with time.
Dr. Stanley Hazen with Cleveland Clinic is co-senior study author. He says those risks and medical records studied stayed up to 3 years after infection, and those who had been hospitalized with severe illness from the virus were at even greater risk for heart problems.
That is, if similar to the risk of someone who had one heart attack and what their risk for having a second heart attack was.
Hazen says the risk also varied on blood type. Researchers say people with certain non-O blood types like A or B are already at higher risk of cardiovascular diseases, but the study found those with O-type blood who were hospitalized for COVID didn't have quite as high of a risk of heart attack or stroke. While the study did not look at the effects of vaccination on cardiovascular risk, Hazen says since the severity of the COVID-19 infection is linked to long-term cardiac risk, getting protected from COVID-19 through vaccination is critical.
If you have had COVID, I suggest think about heart disease and getting your cholesterol checked and your blood pressure checked.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The time is now 5:56, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pet of the day enjoys the simple things in life. On your screen right now is Murdoch. He loves to chase squirrels and eat, and Murdoch was submitted to us by his family in Delmar, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, so send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen, scan the QR code at the top of your screen to submit your furry friend to Coast TV News, then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. And the time is now 5:57, so we're going to take a quick look at our forecast with First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey before you head out the door for your day. Bob, people are probably wondering, what do I wear to work today? Because the weather.
Yeah, definitely dress for warmer, colder weather with warmer clothes, and make sure you have that windbreaker as well. Will be a breezy day. Southwest winds this morning, temperatures in the 60s, some clouds, maybe a sprinkle, then sunshine, and becoming windy this afternoon. Wind shifting to the northwest. Could see highs around 70 and then falling through the 60s as we go into the afternoon into the lower 40s tomorrow morning. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all very chilly days. Highs only around 60, upper 30s Wednesday and Thursday morning. Could be frosty then, but then we warm up towards the end of the week and into the weekend. We're seeing sunshine and 70s and then staying dry and mild into early next week.
Thank you, Bob. Coming up at 6, after being removed from the top of the Sussex County Courthouse, the cupola could be making its return soon, and we'll give you the latest update about the restoration project. That and more when Coast TV News Today returns.